What are stakeholders? Stakeholders are everyone that has a vested interest in a company.
They can be internal or external, depending on whether they are directly involved in the business, such as employees, shareholders or managers, or external, such as the government or the local community, who externally impact on the company's operations.
So, what is the main problem with stakeholders? Well, the main problem is often they will have conflicts of interest. You see, for example, a producer might want to have a higher price to make more money, whilst this might impact other stakeholders in a negative light.
And these problems need to be resolved. Sometimes the stakeholders are able to reach a compromise without interaction, but sometimes a negotiation might be needed, as we shall now demonstrate.
Hi, I'm Giuliano.
Hello, Giuliano, CEO of USA Fairtrade Policy. Thank you.
Thanks.
The reason I brought you here today is because we are switching from you as a tiny little producer to a large multinational corporation, and we would like to discuss the conditions of dissolution of our contract.
The dissolution of our contract?
Have you heard?
I'm sorry, I find that very unfair. I mean, we're working for fair trade. The objective of fair trade is to help small producers. And I mean, just looking at the facts, we've got 1,200 producers for 1.5 million workers. You're just making corporations. I mean, and you're trying to dissolve our contract now.
Of course we are. These large corporations are less vulnerable to the criminals that take the money away from you, so we're not the bad guys here, we're actually protecting you.
The criminals that take the money away from us? Aren't you those criminals? I mean, what are the effects that fair trade has had over the years? You've had so many objectives, so many promises. How many have you reached?
We have given you higher prices. We have introduced price floors that gave you higher profits from your produce. We have done these things, so don't lie.
Lying? How are we lying? We're the ones working, we're the ones making fair trade products. You're the ones just selling them and getting the profits, and now you want to dissolve our contract?
Yeah, because after all, we are a profit-making company. We need to sustain our competitive advantage amongst the other firms that are in the industry, and we can only do that by reducing the costs. And that can only be done by creating contracts with large corporations that actually are able to achieve economies of scale and give us lower prices for their supplies. And what actually can happen is that you can join these large corporations and receive the same price as you do, and keep your contract with us, but not as a small producer. That's not going to happen.
You're just trying to monopolize the industry. You're running everything with one little big fair trade company. You're not actually helping small producers. You're just helping your profits.
The bottom line is that the small producers will receive higher profits, higher pay under the fair trade policy than they would have under classic market conditions, and that helps alleviate world poverty, and that is the good we're doing in this world.
With what evidence do you base this thought upon? How can you do this? How can we be just...
The evidence of common sense. If you give the people more, then they have higher profits, and they can actually earn more by their work, which obviously makes for reduction in poverty. I mean, it's obvious.
I can't believe what you're saying.
In that case, right, I was willing to discuss, I was willing to make, commitments, but you're just sitting here accusing my firm of doing something they haven't done, which is just outrageous. And if it's going to be like this, you can discuss your concerns with my lawyers outside. And that's the part where you leave.